In life, not everything is meant to be shared. Some information, once spoken, can quietly work against you. The truth is, people don't always misuse your words immediately. Sometimes they wait, they observe, and later, when the timing suits them, they use what you revealed to their advantage. Machiavelli warned that power isn't about force, but about control. The less people know about your inner world, the harder it is for them to interfere with it. Oversharing feels honest, but it often creates exposure, and exposure creates weakness. That's why today, I'll break down 7 things that are better kept private. They may seem harmless to talk about, but in the wrong hands, they can cost you control, respect, and momentum. Pay close attention. Understanding this could save you from mistakes most people don't see until it's too late. The first thing you should never reveal is your next move. It's tempting to tell people about your plans, thinking they'll support you, but most will secretly doubt you or even try to slow you down. When you share your goals, you're giving others a chance to stop you before you even begin. Imagine telling someone about your big idea, and instead of cheering you on, they start pointing out why it won't work. That doubt doesn't help. It holds you back. The truth is, when you keep your plans to yourself, you give no one the chance to mess with them. Real progress doesn't need announcements. When you act first and explain later, you protect your momentum. Results have a way of speaking clearly on their own, without inviting doubt or interference. Let people notice the outcome, not the preparation. The second secret is something many people get wrong. Never reveal your weaknesses. We all have things we struggle with, but sharing these weaknesses with the wrong person can turn you into a target. When you open up about your fears, your doubts, or things that hurt you, some people won't offer you the help you expect. Instead, they'll store that information and use it against you later. Think about it. How many times has someone brought up something you said in a moment of weakness to hurt you? Maybe a friend threw your insecurities back in your face during a fight, or a family member reminded you of your fears when you needed support. That's because people don't always handle your weaknesses with care. They might even act like they're on your side, while secretly planning to use what you've shared against you. Machiavelli's warning about revealing too much also applies to your personal vulnerabilities. He believed that the less others know about your struggles, the harder it is for them to use them to control you. The world we live in today encourages people to share everything, from personal stories to deep insecurities. But the truth is, the more you share, the more you give others the chance to judge you, manipulate you, or even exploit your weakness for their own gain. It's better to handle your challenges privately, to fix what's broken behind the scenes, and only show your strength when you're ready. That way, no one can use your pain as leverage. You control the narrative. Take a moment to think about the people in your life who know your weaknesses. How many of them truly care about you, and how many would happily use that information if it served them? Protecting your weaknesses doesn't mean you have to bottle everything up. It means you should seek help from people who understand the value of privacy and strength. Mentors, therapists, or wise figures who can guide you without judgment. It's about finding the right people to lean on and never exposing your pain to those who might use it to hurt you later. Moreover, when you let others see your vulnerability, they begin to define you by it. Think about how many times someone's past mistakes or personal struggles have been used to label them. It's easy for people to attach your past to who you are now, and that can stick with you. Once your weaknesses are exposed, they're not just yours anymore. They're part of your story that others can rewrite however they choose. That's why keeping certain things private is essential for maintaining your respect and your personal power. This doesn't mean you should never express yourself or ask for support when needed. Of course, everyone needs someone to talk to, but choose those people wisely. Don't let your struggles be something you share with just anyone. Keep your battles private, and you'll find that you have more control over your emotional strength. People respect those who don't need to advertise their pain. They respect the ones who handle their problems quietly and emerge stronger because of it. Lastly, think about the most powerful people in history. Did they let the world see their struggles and fears? No. They kept their emotions guarded and their challenges hidden until they were ready to show the results of their hard work. That's the power of Stoicism, the ability to maintain composure and dignity no matter what's happening behind the scenes. You don't need to explain your weaknesses or broadcast them to the world. Work through them in silence, and when the time is right, let your actions speak louder than any words ever could. By keeping your weaknesses private, you're not being dishonest or closed off. You're simply protecting yourself from people who might use your vulnerabilities against you. Don't let others see where you're fragile. Keep those pieces of you hidden, and you'll find that the world respects you more for it. The third thing you should never reveal is your income. Money is a tricky subject. It can attract attention, jealousy, and unwanted expectations. When you start talking about how much you make, you're opening the door for people to treat you differently. If you make a lot of money, suddenly people might see you as a target. They'll start calculating how they can benefit from you, whether it's asking for help or trying to compete with you. And if you make less money, others might look down on you or treat you like you're not worth their time. Either way, sharing your income gives people the power to judge you, and that's not something you want. In the world of money, there's a reason why old money stays quiet and new money tends to be loud. People who have built real wealth don't flaunt it. They understand that showing off their success can invite unnecessary drama, unwanted attention, and even people trying to take advantage of them. They let their wealth speak for itself without making a big deal out of it. When you're quiet about your finances, people respect your privacy. They don't feel entitled to your money or expect you to help them out just because you've done well for yourself. On the other hand, when you announce your income, you become the target of comparisons, jealousy, and sometimes even manipulation. When you share your earnings, others start to view you through the lens of your money. They stop seeing you as a person and start seeing you as a wallet. People may begin to think you owe them something just because you have more than they do. The moment you say no, you're the bad guy. The truth is, money doesn't buy loyalty. It buys attention, and most of that attention isn't genuine. People might act like they respect you because of what you earn, but deep down, they're just trying to figure out how they can use you. And once they believe they have a reason to rely on you, it's hard to say no without feeling guilty or being criticized. That's why it's so important to keep your financial situation private. Think about how money changes relationships. Once people know how much you make, they treat you differently. They might start asking for loans, help with their problems, or expect you to pay for things just because you can. It can cause tension in friendships and relationships, especially when people feel entitled to your wealth. If you say no to their requests, you might be labeled as selfish or arrogant, even though you have every right to keep your money for yourself. When people don't know how much you make, there's less pressure, and the expectations are less likely to pile up on you. You can focus on building your future without worrying about how others will react to your success. When it comes to your income, silence is the ultimate form of power. Let people assume what they want about your financial situation. Don't give them the information they can use to treat you differently or make demands. By keeping your income to yourself, you maintain control over how people see you and interact with you. Money should be a tool that works for you, not something that defines you or puts you in a position where you have to explain yourself constantly. Finally, remember that power is not in showing what you have, it's in making others wonder about it. True strength comes from the mystery of what you've achieved, not from parading it around for everyone to see. So, if you want to keep control over your life and avoid unnecessary drama, keep your income to yourself. Let your success be known through your actions, not through your wallet. The fourth secret is never to share your family problems. It might feel comforting to talk about your family issues with others, especially when you're dealing with something tough. But revealing these struggles can harm your reputation and how others see you. Family is supposed to be a support system, but when you broadcast family drama, it opens the door for others to judge you. People don't see the situation for what it is. They see it through their own lens and start making assumptions about who you are based on your family's behavior. If your family is going through hard times, sharing that with others often leads to pity or gossip, not genuine support. People love to talk, and when they hear about your family problems, they won't hesitate to turn it into something they can talk about with others. You might think you're being open and vulnerable, but all you're doing is giving them ammunition. When you share stories about how tough things are at home, you risk letting people see you as unstable or distracted, and they might treat you differently. They might think you're carrying emotional baggage, and that could affect how they view your work, your relationships, and your overall stability. The truth is, when you reveal your family's struggles, you don't just expose them, you expose yourself. Think about how people respond when you share personal family matters. They may nod and express sympathy, but secretly, many will judge you. People have a way of putting you in a box based on what they know about your family. If your parents were absent or you had a difficult childhood, people may see you as weak, or worse, as someone who is likely to repeat the mistakes of the past. They don't separate your family issues from who you are. Instead, they assume that your family's dysfunction must be a reflection of your own. That's why it's important to protect your family's privacy and avoid letting others in on the personal matters that should remain behind closed doors. Machiavelli's advice to never reveal things that could be used to control you applies perfectly here. When you expose family problems, you give others a chance to use that information against you. They might see your struggles as an opportunity to undermine you or put you in a position where you have to explain yourself. This is why it's crucial to keep family matters private. By doing so, you maintain control over your narrative. You don't want people to think they know you based on the stories you've shared about your family, especially when those stories might be misinterpreted or exaggerated. The key to maintaining respect and dignity is to keep your family's issues out of the spotlight. When you keep your struggles private, people will respect you more. They won't see you as someone with emotional baggage that they can take advantage of. Instead, they'll see you as someone who handles their business quietly, without airing personal problems for everyone to see. People respect those who have their family's matters in order, who protect their loved ones from the prying eyes of the world. Additionally, sharing your family problems can create unnecessary tension. Imagine you're at work and a colleague asks about your weekend. You casually mention some family drama, like an argument with a parent or sibling, and suddenly the conversation shifts. Your colleague might begin to feel uncomfortable, or worse, they might start gossiping behind your back. The moment they know something personal about you, it becomes a topic of discussion. And once that happens, you lose control of the situation. You can't take back the information you've shared, and it will likely be used against you in some way. Instead of sharing family struggles, deal with them privately. If you need support, Find someone who is outside of your immediate circle, someone who won't spread your personal issues or use them against you. A therapist, a trusted mentor, or a close friend who understands the importance of discretion can be a good option. These people will offer advice without turning your struggles into a public spectacle. By keeping your family problems private, you protect your dignity and your relationships. You don't allow others to judge you based on something that's out of your control. You're also ensuring that your family's problems stay within the family and don't become a tool for others to use to manipulate or judge you. Protecting your family's privacy is a way of showing strength, self-respect, and control over your own life. Keep your family's struggles to yourself, and you'll preserve both your peace of mind and the respect of others. The fifth secret to keeping control over your life is never revealing your relationship conflicts. It's easy to feel the urge to share your personal problems when you're going through tough times with your partner, but doing so can seriously hurt your image and your relationship. Imagine telling a friend about an argument with your significant other. At first, they might seem concerned, but once they know the details, they'll start to form an opinion. And the worst part? They'll judge you, your partner, and your relationship. Once that information is out there, it's no longer private, it's something others can use against you. When you reveal your relationship problems, you stop being seen as a strong, independent person. You start to appear weak, vulnerable, and unable to handle your emotions. People begin to question your judgment, your ability to manage your life, and even your character. And once they start to see cracks in your relationship, they're less likely to respect you. They might even enjoy watching your struggles because it makes them feel better about their own situation. Relationships are sacred, and when you air out your dirty laundry in public, you lose control over how others perceive you. It becomes entertainment for them, but it's real pain for you. In a professional setting, revealing personal relationship issues can have even more damaging effects. If co-workers or clients know about your personal drama, they'll wonder how much focus and energy you really have. Are you distracted? Are you unstable? They'll start questioning your ability to stay on top of your work and whether you're reliable. In short, they'll see you as less competent, and that can hurt your reputation and career. You don't want your personal life to define you in the workplace, so it's best to keep your relationship issues private. By keeping your relationship struggles to yourself, you maintain your personal dignity and control over the situation. You're showing others that you don't need to rely on them for support, and that you're capable of handling your problems without turning to the public for sympathy. When things get tough, deal with your problems behind closed doors. Don't let others in on your personal matters unless you completely trust them and know they will keep it confidential. Here's the truth. People who constantly share their relationship drama don't gain sympathy, they lose respect. When you make your conflicts public, you lose the power to control the narrative. You stop being the strong person people admire and start becoming the one they feel sorry for, or worse, the one they judge. This is why Machiavelli's advice about keeping personal matters private is so important. He understood that control comes from maintaining your privacy. The more you expose, the more others can use against you. If you've ever shared personal relationship issues with someone who then turned around and used them against you, you know how hurtful it can be. That's why it's so important to guard your relationship. You never know who might use your struggles to weaken you later. It's not about hiding the truth. It's about protecting your relationship from outside influence. Don't let other people turn your heartbreak into gossip. And don't let them use your relationship as a talking point. Instead, handle your relationship issues privately. And when things are good, let them see the strength of your partnership, not the bumps along the way. People respect those who can maintain their composure and not let their personal life fall apart in public. When you keep your relationship conflicts private, you stay in control of how people view you and your partner. You maintain the respect of others and keep your emotional strength intact. Lastly, always remember that your relationship is yours and no one else's. Don't let the world in on the details, because once they're out, you can't take them back. People love to gossip, and the moment they get a peek into your personal life, they'll start speculating, judging, and even comparing their own lives to yours. Keep your relationship sacred, protect it from the outside world, and only let those in who truly respect and support you. By keeping your relationship private, you ensure that your connection remains strong, and you maintain the respect of those around you. The sixth secret is to never reveal your long-term goals. It's easy to get excited about your big dreams and ambitions and share them with others, but this can backfire in a big way. When you announce your big plans, it might feel like you're getting validation or support. But the truth is, you're only setting yourself up for doubt and sabotage. People might pretend to be excited for you, but deep down, many will feel threatened by your success. When you share your long-term goals, you're giving others a chance to judge your vision, criticize it, and even discourage you. The moment you reveal your ambitions, you give others the power to tell you that it's too big, unrealistic, or even impossible. This kind of criticism can plant seeds of doubt in your mind, causing you to question your dreams and slow down your progress. Think about it. When you share your goals too early, you're giving others the opportunity to undermine your vision before you've even had a chance to work on it. People might not mean to discourage you, but their doubts can affect your confidence. Once you tell someone about your big plans, their reactions, whether positive or negative, begin to shape your perception of those plans. Suddenly, you might find yourself adjusting your goals to meet other people's expectations, watering down your dreams, or even abandoning them altogether. This is a dangerous trap, and one that many people fall into because they seek approval from others instead of trusting their own vision. Talking too early can reduce urgency. When goals stay private, they demand consistent action instead of relying on motivation from others. When you announce your plans, your brain gets a rush of dopamine from the attention and positive feedback. It feels good to get praise and support, but that positive feeling can be mistaken for actual progress. In reality, you've done nothing yet. You've only talked about what you want to do. The more you talk, the more your brain thinks you've accomplished something, and the less motivated you become to actually work toward it. That's why keeping your long-term goals to yourself is important. It keeps you focused on the work, not the praise. Successful people don't talk about their goals before they've made real progress. They keep their plans quiet and let their results speak for themselves. Think about some of the most successful people in history. They didn't announce every step they were going to take. They didn't seek approval before making their moves. They kept their goals private, worked in silence, and then, when their achievements spoke for themselves, the world took notice. That's how true success is built, by focusing on the work, not the talk. When you keep your long-term goals private, you also avoid the pressure that comes with sharing them. You don't have to explain yourself or justify your vision to anyone. You don't have to worry about what others think or whether they'll approve of your plans. You can simply focus on what matters, making your vision a reality. And when you finally achieve your goals, you don't need anyone's approval. Your success will be loud enough on its own. So, the next time you feel the urge to share your big dreams, hold back. Keep your vision locked in your mind and let your actions do the talking. By doing so, you'll avoid unnecessary pressure, protect your focus, and increase your chances of actually achieving what you set out to do. Let others wonder about your next move, let them doubt you, and let them be shocked when you succeed. Keep your goals quiet, stay focused, and let your results speak for themselves. The seventh and final secret is never to reveal your biggest regrets. Everyone has moments in life they wish they could undo: mistakes, poor decisions, and times when they felt weak or vulnerable. It's natural to want to talk about these regrets, to share them with others in hopes of feeling understood or finding sympathy. But revealing your deepest regrets is a dangerous move. Once you share them, people don't see you as someone who has grown and changed. They see you as someone who is still defined by those past mistakes. Regret has the power to hold you back, and when you expose it to others, you give them the ammunition to hold it over you for the rest of your life. Think about the times when someone has brought up your past in a conversation. Maybe it was an old mistake or a choice you made that you've long since learned from. How did it feel when they reminded you of it? Chances are it stung, even if you've moved past it. That's because people love to use your past to define who you are today, even when it's not an accurate reflection of who you've become. Once you share a regret, it becomes a part of your story that others can bring up whenever it suits them. They might not do it to your face, but they'll certainly think about it and use it against you in subtle ways, whether it's to undermine your confidence, question your judgment, or simply remind you that they know who you used to be. Machiavelli warned that showing your vulnerabilities makes you easier to control, and regrets are no exception. The more you open up about your past mistakes, the more people can use them to manipulate you or make you feel small. If someone knows your deepest regrets, they now have a way to destabilize you when you start succeeding or when you set boundaries. They might bring it up at the worst possible time to remind you of your past, making you doubt your worth or feel like you're not worthy of the success you've earned. Your regrets become a weapon they can use to hold you back. In a world where people love to point out others' flaws, revealing your regrets only gives them something to hold over you. They'll use your past to discredit your growth, to paint you as someone who hasn't changed, no matter how far you've come. The danger isn't just in the judgment you receive, it's in how it shapes your future. Once you've given people a glimpse of your regrets, you lose control over how others see you. They won't look at you as someone who's improving or evolving. Instead, they'll see you as a reminder of who you were. And sometimes that's all they'll ever focus on. This is why keeping your regrets to yourself is essential for maintaining your power. It's not that you should bury your regrets and never deal with them. We all have moments of reflection and growth. The key is to process those regrets privately, using them as lessons rather than stories to share. Confession and self-reflection are important, but only to those who truly understand the value of silence. Don't share your past mistakes with just anyone. Only let those who've earned your trust into that part of your life, and don't let anyone use your regrets as a way to weaken you. Imagine a scenario. You've worked hard to change, to become a better person, and to rise above your past. But the moment you open up about your biggest regrets, someone reminds you of your old mistakes, and suddenly you're back to square one. That's the power regret has over you when it's exposed to others. They won't let you forget, and no matter how much you've grown, they'll hold you to who you were. Instead of sharing your regrets, use them as fuel for your growth. Let them shape how you move forward, but don't let them define you in the eyes of others. Keep your past in the past, where it belongs, and focus on building a future that doesn't need to explain itself. When people see your progress, they'll respect you for how far you've come, not for the mistakes you've made along the way. So, keep your biggest regrets private. Let them stay in the past, where they belong, and don't let anyone use them to control your future. You don't owe anyone the story of your failures. What you owe them is the story of your success, built on lessons learned, not mistakes made. Protect your progress and let your future speak for itself. In the end, the key to gaining respect and maintaining control over your life is learning what to keep private. By protecting your goals, your weaknesses, your income, your relationships, and your regrets, you create a life that's harder for others to manipulate. Silence is your strength, and mystery is your power. Don't let others define you by your past or use your vulnerabilities against you. Keep your plans and struggles to yourself, and let your actions speak for who you are. If this resonates with you and you're ready to take control of your narrative, remember, silence is not weakness, it's the ultimate form of strength. Guard your story and your future carefully, and move forward with confidence. If you found value in this video, share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more content like this. Protect your silence, protect your story, and I'll see you in the next video.